Hello, hello, hello. Dr. Alan Harper here, your secure vibe coder. And we are in for another live secure vibe coding session. And we have been at it now. This is our 23rd or 24th session. I'm losing track. And we've been having a ball. We've been doing this about 30 hours, maybe just a little bit more. We have a fully functioning app that we can take to market. We're just going to polish it a little bit more and then we're going to launch it. And thank you so much for joining us. If you've joined us tonight, drop me a hello in the chat and let me know that you're here. Is that you, 3Ds, I see out there? All right. We are building this app called User Vibes OS. Yeah, here we go. 24 session. Hey, 3Ds. Thanks for joining. Had to get started a little late tonight. I always do on Wednesday night. I have a Bible study here at the house. And so I'm delayed. But anyway, we are building this app called User Vibes OS. And the idea of this app is to collect vibes throughout the user journey lifecycle. So whether they show up at the landing page or a survey or wait list or email list, but ultimately we want to collect vibes, including feedback from the user by way of feature requests and bug reports. And that's what we've been focused on in this module in blue down here, called our feedback module. Okay, and we have this working well right now. And what we're doing is we've been launching it into production. And so we're going to finish that tonight. So we have a front end JavaScript widget that you can install in the app. And then you come to our landing page. You can sign up. We can take payments, but we'll just have it on test credit cards tonight and until we launch it live. So you guys can come in and play with it. And then you get access to the dashboard, and then you can get in and play with and generate an API key. And we keep everything in sync on Convex, using Convex, okay? And then what we see is we have two different models, two different security models. We have a tier 1 security model, which is a public key model, and we have a tier 2 security model, which uses a secret key. So we generate both right here on the API page, and then it's up to you, the developer, how you want to deploy it. And we have instructions for that inside. Now, one other thing that I want to share with you is the security architecture of this thing. Let's see, let me zoom out and zoom back in. Okay, right here we have the security architecture of this, okay? And so what we do is we do something called DevSecOps. So we're developers, but we also do some security in everything that we do. And then we have operations. And operations just means that we're going to be able to push it into production. Okay. Now, in a large application, you have 3 separate environments at the very least. I've worked on programs that have had 5 or 6 environments. Depending on, particularly for big clients, they might have several testing environments. But you want at least a development environment. That's what we've been doing on our laptop. It doesn't have to be on our laptop. A lot of companies will develop like in the cloud. Like maybe they'll do it on a Bastion host or on a development server, okay? And then you want a separate test environment, and then you want a production environment. Now for us, right now, we have 2 environments. We have dev and prod, production. We may grow into having a test environment if it becomes necessary. And ultimately, all of these are going to become branches within GitHub. So I'll teach you more about that as we go. All right. And for right now, our main branch is the production branch. Okay. If we in the future want to have a test branch or a test environment, then we will set up a separate test branch for that. And we will identify that through Vercel and connect that up to GitHub. Now, Vercel is linked to GitHub, and Vercel is our cloud distribution. That's actually not right. It's called Content Distribution Network, or CDN for short. And the CDN is the cloud, okay? It's what we think of as the cloud. It gives us edge services or edge functions, and these functions run in a serverless manner in the cloud, meaning that we don't have to manage infrastructure. In fact, Vercel does all of that for us. It has hardware and all that stuff, and we don't have to worry about any of that. We don't have to worry about the operating systems that this thing runs in. All we do is we get functions that run in a serverless mode in the cloud. When that's just a fancy way of saying we can spin these up and we can dial them down, and we only get charged for the processing time of the functions. Now, Vercel is very generous. I mean, just extremely generous. You can run Vercel for years and have hundreds of clients and be free. Okay, once you get up to a certain threshold, though, then they'll start charging you. It has to do with throughput and processing and bandwidth and such. But it's going to be generous enough that you can run it for free for quite a while. Okay, now there's reasons to pay, because when you pay, you get more functionality. Okay, but you don't have to do that. And I've used Vercel for free for years. Now I do pay for it on several of my accounts as well. So you can do both. All right, now Vercel gives you a firewall. It also allows you to host all of your application, that's your user interface up there, and also allows you to host the backend or the API. Okay, and that's where we want all of our security functions operating so that we can secure those APIs. Okay, we also have security in the UI, but not much, because if it's in the UI and it makes its way to the browser, then the attacker can turn it off. Okay, so we want most of our security functions on the back end in the API. Okay, that's a security principle. And this is our security architecture. Okay, there's something called a middleware too. It kind of rides over top of, or in between, you could think of it, of the UI and the APIs. Okay, and it's called the middleware. And we put security functionality in there as well. Okay, and then we of course want logging, and you get all of this with Vercel. Okay, now there are other platforms out here that do that, like Netlify and different things. And I mean, you can even like launch it up the hard way and put it like in Amazon or Azure or DigitalOcean. But you have to do more. You have to manage more if you're going to do that. Okay. The cool thing about Vercel is you just click a few buttons and you import your GitHub, and boom, you're up and running. It boots up, and you don't have to manage. Like, you don't have to designate how much like RAM you're going to give it or how much hard drive you're going to get it. It all just handled by Vercel. Okay, so this is the way you want to go, folks. All right, now from within Vercel, we have internal and external APIs. We talked about the internal, but Vercel can make calls out to external APIs. It could also open up what's called a webhook, which allows external APIs to call into us. Okay, and then when it comes to AI, I recommend that you use OpenRouter, and that's like your one-stop shop for AI. Okay, now in terms of APIs, we're also going to have Stripe integration, right? Or we could do that through Clerk. That's what we're doing. It's a good idea to separate your users from your application data. You want user database and you want application database. That way, if one of them gets hacked, then the other one is not compromised. Now, Clerk is a large company, and they handle the authentication for many sites and many users, like millions of users. They can do security a whole lot better than we can. All right, so we put all of our users in their hands, right? And they are SOC 2 certified and all of that, right? So, you know, they've got data centers that handle all that, and they handle all that for us. Okay, and then we separate off the app data and we put it in Convex, but you could also put it in Mongo or Postgres. And we've been loving Convex in this project, and go back and look at the previous videos, you'll see why. All right, so now that we've got all that understood, last night what we did was we pushed from development up into prod, and we ran into a bunch of problems. It was painful, and a lot of the pain, honestly, was me having to go off camera or hide my screen so I could go hook up bank accounts and stuff. And I really wasn't expecting to do all of that last night. I thought the way Stripe works, I have like 20 Stripe accounts, maybe more. But usually what you could do is just like, you can take Stripe and you can like, you know, just point it to an existing Stripe account. But Clerk would not let me do that. It made me start another one. And that just put us down a spiral. And for 40 minutes, I tried to get my credit card going and all that. And it was painful to watch, I'm sure. But we got through all of that. And right at the very end, we got it mostly working, but we've got a couple errors we have to work through. So I decided to leave it. And what we would do is come back tonight. All right, so let's go ahead and get with it then and see where we're at. So this is our website now. When you come to our website, okay, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show and inspect here, and I'm gonna open up the console so that we can see the logging. And if I try to log in with Clerk, here's what I get. All right, so it comes here to Clerk, and then I can put in. Actually, I don't think this is working. In fact, I know it's not. Yeah. So we end up with some errors here. And that's because we haven't set that all up yet. Oh, that's not right. I don't know. I honestly don't know how that worked because I don't remember setting all that up. I think maybe I was in there pressing some buttons and turned something on. That's interesting to me. I wonder if it's because I think I know what's going on there because we already have users in our Convex database in the production because we migrated those from dev over to production. And I guess what it's doing is using those users, and it recognizes me. But that kind of surprises me and worries me a little bit. We're going to have to bang on this a little bit and make sure there's not something weird going on here, insecure. Okay, I didn't expect that to log me in. I expected it to give me some errors. So it's actually better than I thought it would be. Let's go ahead and do this. Let's sign out and try it again. I notice, see, it's still saying it's in development mode. All right, so something's not right because it still thinks I'm in development mode. Oh, I know why. Duh. Yeah, I know why. We're on the development server. I'm on my local host. Okay, that makes sense now. Okay, that's my clue right there, development mode. All right. Sorry about that. Didn't want to get y'all excited. The reason why that's working is because we're still on our development mode right now. I'm still using localhost. All right, now let's go to the real one. uservibesos.com, or excuse me, AI is what we connected it with. All right. So this is our website. You can go to it now yourself, but you won't be able to log in because we're going to get an error. But we're going to fix it together, and then you'll be able to log in. So just delay for a moment and delay that gratification and watch along here. Okay. Man, that was confusing. All right. So this is our production environment. All right. And how's that music level, 3Ds? Can you hear it tonight? I hope so. All right, so when you go to log in now, watch what it does. Okay, first of all, it only comes up asking you because we haven't enabled the Google. We're going to get that going here shortly. But I'll go ahead and try to log in. And what it's going to do is it's going to say can't find this account. And if I try to sign up, then watch this. I'm going to log in here. I'll just give it a password. Sure, I can give it this one. Okay, and then what I can do is try to log in, and what it's going to do then is I'm getting all these errors down here, and then I get this CAPTCHA failed to load. Okay, so when you're in username password mode, I think they launch a CAPTCHA, particularly if you're getting errors and stuff, and it's part of the security checking. And look at all these errors that we have down here. Now, I could tell right here that these errors are based on the content security policy directives. Okay, so we could feed these to Claude Code, and it will sort these out. So what it's having trouble, with the content security policies. Now, by the way, if you'd ever set up security in your site, you wouldn't see these issues, right? Because we're building it securely. So what happens is it was working on development. On the development server, but once we move it to the cloud, like we have different URLs and different host names and stuff here, and those have to be allowed into the policies. Okay, so this is actually a good thing. In other words, this is proving that our security is working, right? Okay, so let's go ahead. This one launched. We got this error on load. We'll worry about that in a moment. But these right here came up after I tried to log in. So let's feed that to the beast. Tell it, hey, we're having issues with this. See what you can do with it. Okay, so let's see here. New color. Let's get the most recent one because I wanted to have some context of what we've done so far. Okay, that's not that one. Okay, here we go right here. So I'll put this in. Okay, we're having these errors with our CSP. Go ahead and troubleshoot these. As soon as we get this at least working or more advanced, get past these errors, and maybe we'll have new errors. Then what we're going to also do is I'm going to show you how to set up the SSO, which is single sign-on with Google. It's pretty straightforward, and we're going to do that tonight as well. Okay. Get add. No, I don't want you to add anything. Oh yeah, I guess it's gonna have to add. Okay, it says that it. Let's see what it says it did. First of all, okay, we're having trouble. Clerk uses Cloudflare turnstile for CAPTCHA. I need to add Cloudflare's domains. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead now. In order to see the results of this, we're gonna have to push it up to main, and that's what these git commands are for. So it's asking, do we want to do that? And we'll say, yeah, go ahead and do that. So it's going to make a git commit message, and it's going to push this up to main, and then we're going to be able to test it once that boots up into main. All right, so let's go over here real quick, and what we will then do is get this up. And I want to launch my Vercel. I have tons of stuff going on in Vercel, so I'm going to do it off screen here, and I'll bring it in. I love Vercel. I run all my projects on it. Okay. Okay. And what we can always watch our deployments within Vercel by going to the deployments tab here, and we'll see this one's booting up. Okay, here's the ones from last night. And you can click in there and you can actually see the logs. You can see it building. And what you're looking for is no red. If red comes up, then we've got an error. We need to go back to Claude Code. Now, the good news is we only have to do this once, because once we get this working in production, we're not going to move it, right? We might add another URL. Like right now, I'm using uservibes.os.ai, but I might want to also capture .com, in which case, if somebody comes, what I'll probably do is just make it redirect to .ai, and that'll be the simplest thing. But I could also make it launch with .com if I wanted to. Okay, so this is all good. Notice that it's handling the pushes to convex as well. You no longer need the MPX convex dev that we run locally. You no longer need that in the cloud because it handles it for you. Okay, Vercel handles that. Okay. Okay. Yeah, thanks for that feedback, 3Ds, on the audio. Appreciate it. "3Ds is a hero, man. He's been here since day one. And he's on the other side of the planet. So it's like 4:30 in the morning over there, almost 5 or something crazy. He's a trooper. He stays with us. I don't know how he does it. I'm dead to the world at that time in the morning at my age. When I was a younger man, yes. All right, so this thing's building. It's just about done, and we should be able to see it over here in a second. Okay, come on. Oh, I'm sorry. It's already ready. Okay, so you can always click one of these URLs here because it gives you like some testing URLs. But you can also we've hooked this up in our domain, so we should be able to do this as well. I'll just come over here and hit refresh. Okay, so what we'll do is again we'll try the sign up. Okay, we didn't get those errors. We got something else going on here. Okay, let's go ahead and add that to my LastPass. All right, looks like it sent me a code here to my email. So let me launch up my email here and go get that code. Progress, guys, progress. Okay. One-time code. Bam. Woo! You guys are free to go sign up and log into that, but I encourage you to just bear with me tonight because I got some more things we're going to do. In fact, let's just go do that now. I'm going to log out. That is awesome, guys. We still have this one error that's kind of troubling to me. Let's see, what is this? Failed to fetch RC payload, falling back to browser navigation, failed to fetch. Let me just copy that. I'm tired of looking at that error. In fact, what I will do is I will, that error has been there since yesterday. So let's get it to chew on that one real quick. Okay, the CSP errors are gone now, but I do notice when I load the page, I get this fallback. This was here before the CSP issues, so it's something separate. Man, I'm feeling good. We have a production site, guys. Again, the painful part was like getting my credit card and stuff up in there without doxing myself with you guys last night. I was sweating bullets. But besides that, like this thing's working. Like the rest of it was easy. All right. So what do we got here? Let's see. The issue is that your landing page has links to the dashboard, which Next.js prefetches even when the user's not authenticated. Okay, so it's going to fix that prefetching. Okay, cool. It puts this prefetch false in here. Okay, all right, we learned something. I didn't know that. I don't know a lot, guys. This thing's a better programmer than I am, that's for sure. I promise you it's better than you are as well. And that's encouraging. Like, rest in that. Like, you know, we no longer have to be like super programmers. This thing makes us super programmers. I have super coding skills, not because of me, because of Claude Code. Okay. Yes, great progress. Awesome. I agree. 3Ds, thank you. Hey, if you have a comment or if you've joined us here, drop me a hello in the chat. Tell me you're here. Tell me where you're from. I'd appreciate it. We've had some repeat offenders showing up. You guys got nothing better to do than come listen to me at night. I really appreciate it. And but I like to know you're here. Drop me a note. Say hello. It gets lonely over here. All right, so we got this thing cooking. All right, man, we got a functioning app, guys. We won't go through all the features here tonight because it's working. You guys can play with it yourself. Now, you can play with the demo. Like what you can do is you can come inside. Let's see here. Yeah, okay, all right. This part may or may not be working. Let's play with it. Okay, subscribe. I could put in, what you do is you put in 4242, 4242, 4242. This is the test code for Stripe. Now, fingers crossed here. That ain't right. Got to put some somewhat realistic numbers in here. Don't save that. Why is it doing that? Save this card. Okay, save it. Okay, that's not working. Okay, so we've got some more troubleshooting to do. Let's figure out what's going on. That's probably these errors down here. Okay. I bet it's these right here. Well, we've got some error blocked by content. This would be probably some more security issues going on here. Let's see. I don't know what that all is, but let's do this. Let's clear the logs out and then try to hit pay again and see if we get any errors. Okay, so here's the bad request right here. Okay. All right. Copy that. Okay, it says it fixed the other one. Okay, I believe it. Okay, now we have a new issue. Okay, now we have a new issue. When I try to sign up with the test credit card, I get this error. So there's something going on. Help me troubleshoot this and figure it out. Okay, and while it's doing that, I'm going to fix this. Stop prefetch. And I'm going to push that up so that that can start building. My ulterior motive there is to go ahead and commit that change so that if it screws this one up, I can revert. Okay, check Stripe mode consistency. Go to your clerk dashboard. Okay, hold on a second. Let's see. Let's back up here. Common causes for this error. Stripe API keys mismatch. Okay, Stripe is within clerk. Oh, look what it's saying. It may not be properly connected to the production Stripe account. I don't want to go through that again. All right, so here we go. All right, so let's just follow the directions here, okay? Now, see, this is interesting. I never had to put Stripe keys in development. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, I'm confused. I never had to use Stripe keys in development. We let Clerk handle Stripe for us. So I want you to check the web documentation and just confirm that you're giving me good advice here to use Stripe secret and public keys. It's now searching the internet with this, looking for this Stripe integration setup. I don't know why I put 2024 in, but okay. Okay, and ask if I want to fetch this. I say yes, and I don't care. Fetch anything you want from Clerk. All right. Who else joined us here? Drop me a hello. Tell me you're here and where you're from. Drop me a comment, guys. I appreciate it. If you want to learn more about me, you can check out the free mentoring in this QR code up here. You can also find out about me in the link in the description. Inside of that free mentoring, you'll learn about my Secure Vibe Coding Masterclass, where I go into this in much more depth, and you'll also then get access to me, weekly access where we meet, and I can help you bring your dreams to life. Okay. Okay, Clerk Billing does not require you to set up Stripe API keys. Yeah, hallelujah. Clerk handles all this. Yes. Yes. Okay. The real issue: development versus production. Stripe accounts are separate. Yes. Stripe accounts created for development, Clerk instances, or sandbox. Yes. These cannot be used for production. Yes. For production, you need to connect a separate Stripe account. I've done that. I didn't see any pricing plans in the production. Let's look for that. But then if I didn't see any, I don't know why they would have showed up. Let's cancel this. And let's go back over to clerk. I'm noticing some more errors here and there. Yeah, but a lot of these have to do with, well, I'm seeing a lot of Stripe stuff here. I don't know. A lot of these have to do with the streaming that I'm doing right now. Okay, so let's go into clerk. And let's check under subscriptions. Subscription plans. Okay, so here's my 2 plans. I only have 1 paid and a free. And I'm in the production instance, so that's all there. Under settings, enable user billing, require payment for free trials. Okay, it's connected to Stripe right here. And it says I can view it in Stripe, but I shouldn't have to. It has all of that. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it the screenshot and tell it I already have connected that. I have already connected Stripe to the production instance, as you can see in this screenshot. Give me more ways that I can troubleshoot this. I've given you the error. I need you to help me get to the bottom of this error. Okay, what's telling me here? Okay, hold on a second. I don't know why it's... Okay, there we go. Okay, it says it can see that it's connected. Let me help you dig deeper. Okay, the post error means Stripe rejected the payment method confirmation. Okay. Okay. I wonder if I'm in test mode on Stripe or if it's actually trying to validate that credit card. That could be what's going on. Okay, hold on a second. Go to developers, logs, and Stripes. Okay, click view in Stripe on that screenshot. Yep. Find the failed setup intents confirm request. Click on it to see the actual error message. Okay, all right. Let me pull that up in a safe way. Okay, so what I'll do is just drag that off screen for a second and view that in Stripe. Okay. Okay, I just got a code to my phone so I can, because of course we use 2-factor authentication, right guys? Can't have you guys hacking me. Okay. Yeah, you know what it is? I think I'm not in test mode over here. I think I'm like in live mode. That's what I think. Okay, let's see how I can like switch this into test mode. Okay. Let me go back into Claude. I think my my Stripe account is in live mode. How do I put it in test mode? Okay, right here to enable test mode, go to your Stripe dashboard. Okay, I'm there. Look at the upper right hand corner. You should see a toggle that says test mode. I do not. Hold on a second. Okay. New tools to manage your account. I'm looking all over this thing, guys. I do not see anything that says test mode. Okay. Okay. Let me look around some other places here. I see a switch to sandbox. I wonder if that's it. Oh, okay. Wait a minute. I see a test mode. It's over in the menu. Okay. All right. Looks like sandboxes are the new way to test. Let me drag this back down. That's not. No, it's showing some keys, so I don't want to do that. But anyway, let me create a sandbox. Okay. It says right now, test boxes are the new way to test. This is a new functionality that Claude Code's not even aware of. You can have up to 5 sandboxes, each with its own API keys. Actually, I just want to hit this button that says stay in test mode. Let me see if it'll do that. Okay. Okay. I think I'm in test mode right now. All right, let's try it again. Four two 0527. You just got to give it a future date, I think. And then any numbers here and any numbers here. Nah, I'm not seeing it. I'm still getting that error. It's bad request down here. Set up intents, confirm. Okay, let me look in the logs like it told me to now. Transactions, all activity. Okay. I wonder, let me refresh this because maybe it's still using the production instance of the of that. Just let me. Stranger things have happened. Okay, still got that error. All right, so let's go back here. Okay, once in test mode. Yep. Okay, no real money is processed. After switching to test mode, you may need to reconnect it to your Clerk product instance, or Clerk may need to be configured to use the test mode connection. Check if Clerk has a separate connection for test versus live Stripe. You might need to disconnect the current Stripe account in Clerk and reconnect while Stripe is in test mode. Alternatively, if you want to test in production with live Stripe connection, you need to use a real card. Now, I'm not doing that. Then you could refund yourself, it says. And I don't want you guys to have to put a real card in either yet. So we need to figure this out. All right, let's go back to our Clerk. Okay, and what we would do then is disconnect this and reconnect. Okay, and in order to do that, let me come up here. It's logging me in. Please do not make me do all that stuff again. Okay, it looks like it's not requiring me to do all of that I did last night. I just have to select the one from last night. Okay, good. Okay, continue. Okay, almost there. It's got all this tax stuff it's asking me. I'm saying no, no thanks. Okay. All right, so I've resubmitted that. Okay. All right. Let's try it again. Oh, it let me in. Hold on a second. I want to see. Hold on a second. I want to. Okay, I think what I can do is I can remove this user and I can re-authenticate. I think that's working. 3Ds or somebody go out there and see if you can log in and put in a test credit card and report back. That'd be slick if it is. Hey Adam, how are you? I'm building something called User Vibes OS. I'll show it to you in a second. We're getting through this critical point where we pushed it up to prod and now we're seeing if it'll take a test credit card. Okay, let's see. You can use their API and generate a script to toggle modes. Yeah, I'm not trying to do all that, man. We're vibe coders. Hey, I appreciate what you're saying, and I could do that, but like, we're gonna let AI figure it out for us without having to do that if we can. Okay. Hold on a second. All right. So while 3Ds is checking that out for me, I think it's working now. Let me step back and tell you guys what we're building. Okay. This is all part of my secure vibe coding masterclass that you'll find out about me up in the free mentoring QR code above or link below. We're building this app called User Vibes OS. And the purpose of this app is that we allow developers to collect vibes from their users throughout the user journey lifecycle. So whether the user's just hitting the landing page or they're maybe filling out a survey or a wait list or email list, and then ultimately, once they become a client of ours, we want to collect feature requests and bug reports. We're doing that through what we call the feedback module. And then we will do other things like sentiment surveys, testimonials, and exit comments. There's no one app that pulls this all together. There are apps that do many chunks of this very well, but they're vulnerable. And like I've already targeted a handful of apps that do this feedback part, and they're very expensive, and they don't have all the functionality that we already have. And we developed this thing over about 30 hours now, in about 24 sessions, and we do about an hour and a half a day. And we already have better than these guys have been up for years. Okay, and we're gonna polish it. We're gonna add some AI to it and stuff, and just like dunk on them right now. But right now we're already better than them. But you have to be sometimes 10 times better than them for customers to come to you. But that's what we're building. And we just made a huge milestone and got it up and running in production over the last session, literally an hour and a half yesterday and a little bit today. That was very painful because I had to go off screen a lot and put my credit card in, my banking information, my tax information. Very painful. I was sweating bullets, but somehow I managed to not dox myself. And we got it all up in there, and it seems to be working, but I'm waiting for 3Ds to confirm that. Otherwise, I'm going to have to delete my account. I probably should just delete my account and come back in while he's checking on that. Okay, so here's my we use Convex for a database, so I'm gonna go ahead and use the production one. Okay, and I'm gonna come into the data and I'm gonna delete myself. Okay, that's funny. There's no data in there. Well, that's interesting. How did it log me in? I know I'm using the production data. Maybe it's not. We could have a bug here. That surprises me. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, let's do it the other way. What we do is we'll come in here and I will cancel my account. Get rid of this for a second. Okay, so I'm gonna use my billing, and what I'm gonna do is somewhere in here, I should be able to delete my account. Okay, delete account. Okay, it's asking me for my password, which I believe I saved to this thing. No, that's not good. And I don't want to show you my other accounts. Give me a second. Okay, so now I thought I saved my password, but it didn't. So what we're gonna have to do is forget our password, find our password by resetting it. If it ain't one thing, it's another. All right, so let's see how we log out and log back in because we forgot our password. Okay, we'll figure it out. You don't have okay, so what I want to do is log in, forgot my password, just checking here. Look, do I have, now it's acting like I have some saved. I use LastPass and I thought we saved it, but it doesn't look like it's picking it up. And that could be because I need to log into my LastPass. User Vibes OS. Yeah, okay, I got a password in there. I don't know why my plugin's not working. Okay, hold on. Okay. Okay, I've got the password now. So let me log back in with it. Okay, my password works. So now let me delete this account. And that time it never even asked me for the password. Strange. Okay. All right. Now let me go ahead and sign up. What I'm thinking has happened is it had my password, or it had my user account on the dev site, but it should not have. It should also be over on the production site. So something's broken if that's not working. Okay, so that's not cool. I just showed you guys the password. All right, let me okay, I'll type in one. Okay. All right, and what it did that time, it did save it. Okay. And it of course asked me for a code that now it's left the screen. So I'll try again. You gotta be kidding me. Come on, guy. Okay. I need to leave that screen up and I need to check my email. Okay. I have a code there. Man, we're going to get the single sign-on working so we don't have to mess with this anymore. As soon as I can get past this issue. Okay, it logged me in, and now what I want to see. Okay, it's still not requiring the credit card payments, and that's bugging me. But nonetheless, let me. Okay, I don't see a way to sign up and pay for the Pro via Striper. Yeah, but it did let you in, right? No, Payment Gateway does not allow me to sign up. Logged in, it gave me access. This is 3D's talking. I'm gonna put his comment up. Okay, I logged in and it gave me access to the site without having to pay since there's a free level. You signed up on the free level. Yeah, but it should still let you go in and put in the payment gating. Okay, so something is a bit wonky. It's no longer Stripe that's holding us up. There's something in the settings here that is not registering the actual payment gated portion of this. Because right here, when we click on this, it should ask us to payment gate. Can you see the feedback section, or is it blocking you? Okay. While he's thinking about that, let me come over here. Yeah, this is a big clue. There's no data in our production database. And so the only thing I could think of is it's still going into our development. But we have a whole lot more data than this in our development cloud infrastructure. I think what happened there is when I deleted that user, it deleted all of those configurations and everything, which is fine. Yeah, I'm just at a loss as to why this is now showing up. Let's see, what's today's? No, see, that's the previous user. So that's still on the development side. What I'm curious about is why we are not seeing this information over on the production side with a current creation date. That is puzzling to me. I'm gonna have to troubleshoot that. All right, no way to get to the payment section. Right, got you there. But like when you click on the 3Ds, when you click on this piece right here on the feedback, is it coming up with anything in your feedback section here? Will it let you come in here and create a project, for example? Or is that grayed out? Like, how is that working? Oh, okay, we're gonna need the API key first. All right, let's try that. Okay. Okay, we have to give it a name. Testing 1. There's no projects yet. Okay, we're gonna come from, yeah, this could be a problem. Allowed origins. Because we're gonna be coming from a certain location. What I might have to do is come from the cloud in order to test this. Okay, that's gonna be interesting. Please select a project. Well, you can't select a project if you don't have. Okay, so maybe what I do is just turn off the tier 1 for now, create the keys. That's not good. That's a bug that we have to fix. but it will let you create a key. But you can only create the secret key, and then we should be able to go into the feedback here. Okay, yes, now we can create a project, and I'll fix that. Like it shouldn't be requiring that. My first project. Okay, now it's selecting that key. No public key. Yeah, no kidding. Okay, so that's a bug that we're gonna have to fix. So let me go ahead and just get fixing that. Okay, on the new production site, when I go to create an API key, it's requiring me to select a project, and there is no project. So I need to remove that requirement to select the project for the API keys. We will later select the key whenever we create the project, so we'll leave that in place. But remove that functionality to select a project whenever we're creating, generating API keys. Okay. Oh, it's grayed out. What's grayed out is are you seeing that the menu is grayed out, the menu item, or is it the buttons in there? Because you have to go, if you go in there, you have to select an API key. You saw what I just did. But anyway, let me fix this bug, and then you won't have to do the API key, and we'll have this up in a few minutes. Okay. Let me get rid of this comment that he had. Okay, this is interesting. We're hitting some new things, that's for sure. We'll figure it out. The backend insert already uses, yeah. Okay. All right, so we're removing that bug, or whatever you want to call it, workflow issue. Okay. Hey, Adam. The feedback section is visible, but you got this chicken and egg problem where you can't create a key. I'm fixing that right now. And I'm gonna have to figure out like the payment mode. Like it should still allow us, even though I have it in test mode, it should allow you to put a credit card in, and it's not. That's all right. We'll figure that out. Figuring this out as we go. That's the crazy thing about live TV. No script here, guys. No script. Just grit and determination. Okay, so here we go. Just want to read this so we don't waste time. Okay, so now it's optional. And then on the front end, remove validation. Okay, made the project drop down only show when projects exist. Okay, that's fine. Change the label from project required for public key to just project optional. Okay, good. All right. Commit that and push it to origin. It's going to make a commit statement. You see it right there. Okay, and ask me if I want to do it. I say yes. Okay, so in a moment that's going to build, and you guys can refresh your page, and you should be able to create an API key and then a feedback board. And I can do the same on my end. Okay. So what you're seeing here is how I push it to origin, and that's for the main trunk. And we have our deployments going here. If I come back into my Vercel panel and I go up here to the top, click on a project, and then you see the latest building, and you'll have hundreds of these builds at some point, like I do on my other projects. Okay, but this one's building now, and when this launches and that turns green, then we can go ahead and refresh our page and test it. It's just that simple. Okay, yeah, all right, 3Ds, we're tracking. Now we still have this glitch where it's not taking the test credit card, and that's bugging me. And what also bugs me is the fact that there's no data in our production database. So I don't know where that data is going. We're gonna have to sort that out as well. Okay, now this is interesting. The production deployment of this project contains a vulnerable version of Next.js. This just came out today. All right. All right. We'll roll with it. Hey, our good friend Adilcia is here. I know I just said your name wrong. I'm sorry. I'm trying. Okay, here we go. Yeah, we've got a new vulnerability on Vercel. Now, what's cool about it is Vercel will protect you. See, what they've done is they put WAF rules in place to protect all projects. So, like, we've got a little time here, but we don't want to rely on this. Apparently, there's a critical severity vulnerability out there in React server components that affects React 19 and frameworks that use it. Under certain conditions, especially crafted requests could lead to unintentional remote code execution. Oh, that's not good. That's why it's critical. All right, so this is why, we're secure vibe coders, guys. So we pick up on things like this. I actually just read it in the console there, and we're going to need to upgrade this now. And I'll show you how we do that. The vulnerable versions all the way up in through this. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll take this and we'll tell our friend Claude, upgrade us to a version that is not vulnerable. Upgrade us to a version that is not vulnerable, but be careful that we do not make any breaking changes. This just came out today, guys. Fresh off the presses. Wow. Okay, so what it's doing here is it's updating the version. Right here, you can see it's going to 1901. Are we sure that's not vulnerable? Hold on a second. The vulnerability is present in all of these versions. Resolution. Fixed in, okay, it's fixed in 1901. What was I reading up here? Oh, that's weird. Like 1910 has the problem and the 20 branch does. Oh, these are Parcel. Let's see what's going on. Yeah, these are individual packages, but they're within the overall React framework. Okay, we're going to be good. Okay, so we just upgraded one version. That's a good idea. You don't want to upgrade to the very latest one because that will probably break some stuff. We just want to make sure we're not vulnerable. We don't need all the functionality like they just released in the last 3 months because we need other people to debug that stuff for us and get all the kinks out before we upgrade. Okay, so it's asking us, do we want to npm install? The answer is yes. Okay, so that's how easy it is to upgrade, guys. So now what we'll do is we'll push this back up to main. That flag will go away. Nobody can hack us. Grateful. It's interesting. I've got to upgrade my other packages, my other projects. And you do as well. If you're running Vercel, you got homework tonight. If you're running Next.js, I should say. Yeah, I'm excited that we got on that right away. It just came out today. Maybe just a couple hours ago. Interesting. Okay, let's look at our deployment. Okay, it's green. Okay, you guys should be able to add an API key now and add a project. Okay, now for those of you new here, let me show you how this thing works. Okay, follow me. Okay, API keys. No, that's the local host. Sorry. Reason why that broke is because it reinstalled, so it stopped the server. Let me just do first things first. Let me cancel this. Let me go back into here, make sure we push this up. Okay, it's doing it. I don't want to forget to push that up to production, right? But we don't need to wait for it. Like, we can go ahead and do the testing. Okay, so this is pushing up to main now, so we should get another build coming right here. There it is. Okay, but in the meantime, what I can do is I can come back in here and do the API keys. I'll delete this old one. Now follow along, guys. So create your first API key, give it a name, just call it, something simple. This is optional now. Why is that showing? Because I haven't refreshed. Okay. Yeah, that's gone now. Okay. Testing 1. Create keys. Please enter at least one origin. This is going to trip us up, guys. You have to, if you're a developer, you have to tell it where you're coming from. And it's a requirement. So what we can put on here is, we can't really do the development because we're not coming from development. But just to get this thing up and running, we can just go ahead and give it any domain. Like, we can give it, example.com. Create a key. Okay, so now we've got a key, public and secret. Okay, now what we can do is we can go to the feedback board and we can create our first project. We'll call it my first project. Okay, and now you have to select a key, and there's only one in here. Okay, and then we create the project. Okay, so that works. Now here's how you can test the functionality of it. Okay, developers out there, first of all, you're gonna have to give it a real domain, like that you're gonna come from. So developers listening to me, you know how to do that. Okay, and so what you do is, what I did was I just went back here to feedback. We've created this first project called My First Project. When you click on it, you'll see that we have this inbox. Of course, there is no feedback yet. Okay, so you can ignore that. This is where your feedback will come in, and you can actually click on it. It's like a mailbox for you. Over here is the actual board. The idea is you take the feedback, and there will be a button down here that says promote it to the backlog. And when you promote it to the backlog, then you could start working it. You'll get a list of cards here of your feedback, or either your bug reports or your ideas, your feature requests from your users. Okay, then you can move those across as you're working them, and then when you get them to the end over here, then you can move them to the change log, and they'll show up here on the change log. Okay, and then what you can do is you can create a change log, and it'll allow you to select ones that are done. All right, and all of this then comes over here to the demo panel, where this widget right here will show any of the feature requests that have been collected, and you can vote on them. And then you have bug reports, and you have a roadmap, and then you have the changelog. This is the widget that will actually show up on your website. Okay, here's the embed instructions of how to install the widget. Okay, so you put this JavaScript in. Okay, and then after you put that in the, like the header of your page, I actually need to put more instructions here. You put this JavaScript like up in the header of your page, right before the body. And then what you do is then you can call it like this within the body. Okay. And this is the public key mode. If you want to switch it to private key mode, then it's a little bit more complicated. You come over here to settings, and you come down here, and to the bottom, you can switch it to security mode. You can put it in tier 2 mode. Okay, you can set the expiration if you want. That's 5 minutes. Okay, and then what you can do is you don't even have to save that. 2 days ago, we made it so you don't even need to save these settings. Anything you change here, it automatically saves it to the database. Now, again, where is that saving? Let me refresh and see. Oh, that's not good. That's a bug. See the browser code console for more info. Okay. Didn't want to see that. Server error. Oh, it's rebooting. Deployment caught up to me. And it looked like it probably rebooted and did something on me here. Let me back out. You might have to log back in, guy, or come back in. Yeah. Okay, let me refresh now. It should be fine. No, it doesn't like to refresh. Okay, well that's a bug. Let's figure that out. Okay, let's see if that error came from that bug or not. Let me refresh I just canceled the console logs. It looks like anywhere in here, if you refresh, it's crashing. Let's see if it does it here. Okay, no. But within the feedback, if I go into a card and I refresh anywhere in here, I get this error. Okay, cool. So let me drop this into, looks like we got a convex issue here. And honestly, what I want to do before I even feed it that, I want to come over here and look at my production database and see if there's still no data in there. All right, so we've got something going on that we're gonna have to troubleshoot. And we will do that tomorrow night, guys. All right, so we made progress. This is messy, but this is reality. And we are making progress. We are learning. Getting this app working up in production. We already have it working well on our laptop. And tomorrow, what we'll do is we'll continue this same bad channel, same bad time, 8 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. I know I was half hour later tonight, but 8 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, we'll pick this up. And I'll just leave all of this like it is. I'll probably poke around with it tomorrow to see if I can get some clues. But I'll make sure that I catch you guys up tomorrow if I do figure out anything. Otherwise, we'll pick it up right here. And until then, you guys be safe out there and you be blessed by the best. Thanks for joining, guys.